What's up, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel, and I don't have my microphone next to me. One of these days, guys, I'll have it all together. Welcome to the Sunday Night Draw stream with James Nguyen. That's me. I am the creator of Alpha Red. You are watching the Alpha Red Comic Channel, where I talk about creating independent comic books while I draw cool pictures. So hopefully you looked at the thumbnail and you say, I want to see, I'm curious about who this Horseman guy is with the Rippaverse. So let me see. Am I live? It looks, and the one thing says I'm live, and okay. I think I'm good. You'll let me know, right? You'll let me know if I'm not good. Okay, so we're good. So we're gonna jump over here to the, check this out, guys. Check this out. Oop, wrong one. Sorry. That's a good campaign too. So if you are not familiar with, let's not do that. All right. Blood Moon from Alternative Comics is funding as well. That's not why we're here. That was last week, guys. But it's still going on, and Blood Moon still needs your help. But we're here to talk about the Rippaverse. That's right, causing much heartburn for some folks because it's doing so well. Haters gonna hate, and it's doing. I don't know. Can you see the cursor here, where I'm highlighting the 6,905 units sold? That's crazy. Because this campaign has only been live for 4 days. I think it started on Wednesday. And here it is sitting at $423,175 at the time of this live stream. And we are very inspired. And that is why we're going to be drawing the Horseman here. Let me see if this, did I, yeah, I have it up here. Can you see it? I'm going to click on it. I'm going to make it bigger. There we go. You don't need to see me. But this is what it's all about, guys. This is why I do what I do, because I get inspired. I have this creative bug inside of me, and when I see this, I go, man, this could be Alpha Red. So if you don't know, I create an independent comic of my own called Alpha Red, and we're going to be using this blank drawing, this blank sketch cover to draw the Horseman. So hopefully this is like movie magic to you. You don't see that I'm pulling it off from the side here, getting it situated in front of my face. Take this down. Let me close that. Bam! There we go. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. So we're gonna jump in, and we are gonna talk about. You know what? I didn't talk about this thing. Let me jump on this. Close this down, and this is the Horseman right here. I pulled this from Joe Bennett's Instagram page. Here are some pictures of the Horseman. Now, he's a brand new character. His comic is not available. People do not have this. The general public does not have this. I'm sure somebody has copies of this, but this looks like a very cool character. I didn't realize how violent and bloody it's going to be. So it's not going to be a recommend for my audience, my Alpha Red audience, just because Alpha Red is a family-friendly comic book, and this does not look like it is in the vein of family-friendly. So, but it is cool. I will have this off to the side as I draw him. I think there are some that I want to click through faster because it's pretty bloody. See, yeah. Let's go back here. Anyway, very cool design. We're just gonna stick with that kind of stuff, and I'm gonna use that right there to kind of inspire me, or to get the costume going. All right. Can you hear? That's sorry about the music there. I don't even know if you can hear me. I apologize if your eardrums were blown out. But we are going to draw the Horseman right here as we talk about the Rippaverse. If you want to chime in about the Rippaverse, I am not opposed to defending why I put in my order for a Rippaverse, the Horseman. Welcome to Florist Park comic book. I'm just an independent comic creator out there, and I'm just a comic book fan, number one. Comic books in general inspire me, so I'm looking at the that's what I should do, because I don't want to miss any comments. So if you're out there, oops, I got too many things in front of me. Okay, and I have to watch myself, because I mean, not like watch myself as in censor myself. I have to watch myself so that I can make sure I'm seeing your comments. If you have any comments, I'm okay with that. I gotta get in here, will it let me do this? It won't let me do that unless I'm in the YouTube app. I apologize, guys. I should have, you think you have everything all squared away, and then boomski. You remember the 5 things. Hey, thanks, Jay Scott. How's work, bro? Oh, let me turn this down. Let me turn this down so I can still see your comments. But am I remembering right, Jay Scott, that you watch this, you catch this while you are working? Who's ready for Horseman? All right. So I do have this off to the side. So if you see me cocking my head over here and look, because he's such a new character, I don't know really what he looks like. I imagine he moves a lot like the Punisher, just because of how violent I have seen some of the source material. And so he's like Batman, but he kills. The ears kind of remind me of that, and then I'm just looking at how it's drawn, just because they're so limited, the references out there. He's new. Nobody really has the characters yet. I appreciate you being here, Jay Scott. I hope that I helped to make your work night go by just a little faster. So, as I think about how the Horseman would move, is work good? Yes, work is good. I'm on vacation. Nice, bro. Well, congratulations on a vacation day. Well deserved, I'm sure. I'm sure. Hopefully, I can still make it worth your time here. I don't know if you are into the Rippaverse, Jay Scott, but I am inspired by what I see. Not so much like the product that they're putting out. I don't mind the product that they're putting out. I know there's debate on whether it's quality stuff or not quality stuff. That's not why I buy Rippaverse books. They're entertaining enough. I don't know if they're worth the money or all that jazz, but I do pick them up. I have all of them but Yaira. And it just didn't sit right with me, Yaira. And I don't know if I would have pulled the trigger on this. Pun not intended, but it fits. Pulled the trigger on this had I known how violent it was. But I paid it. I saw the email come through and I jumped on it. And I was super excited. It was like, I don't know, an hour into the campaign when I ordered mine, And then I watched the trailer and stuff, and realized how bloody it was. And so, like, I don't know if I put it, I'm pretty sure I put it in the description below, that I will probably not be sharing this with my 16-year-old son. He is starting to get interested in comic books. Not all my kids were into comic books. They liked them, of course, and they liked mine, but they were not huge, like, fans. And I wasn't eager to share a lot of my comics with them, just because I had no filter on what I was buying for a long time. And so it did not all of it was appropriate for them. So, but now he's older, and I don't have many comics. I don't keep many comics that are not appropriate for my kids in the house, just because I don't want them to accidentally stumble across something that I don't want them to see. And if they shouldn't see it, I probably shouldn't have it anyway. So that's kind of my thinking behind it. But some of the stories are really good, and I enjoy some of it. So some of it is around, and what I do is I take a Sharpie, and I censor them. So I censor bad words, just go in there, and I don't mind doing that. They're my comics. I can do whatever I want with them. And so I censor them so that I can share them with my kids, with my 16-year-old. And even the violent stuff, the stuff that's super gory, like, I'll go in there and, like, black out everything that's happening. Does that make me a bad dad that I shelter him like that? Or does that make me a good dad? I recently checked it out. It seems pretty cool. Yeah. I'm super inspired by, like, the animation. So I'm thinking about how to grow Alpha Red. Like, so I draw a lot of these draw stream images on the sketch cover to Alpha Red #1, and I charge really cheap for them, in hopes that somebody will be so inspired by the picture that they'll pick it up and they'll catch the first issue of Alpha Red and then be persuaded to buy the rest of them. That's just a sales gimmick, blatant sales gimmick. If anybody was wondering why I bother to draw using my own sketch covers and not like sketch covers or just a blank Bristol board sheet of paper. So if you're curious, I use the old HB, just a #2 pencil, nothing fancy. I'm not a fancy guy, not so artsy fartsy like some people. And I see that some guys have nice, really cool pencils that I see some of the professionals use. Like Jim Lee uses this pencil that has just like the lead, and I'm like, yeah, is that the difference? Does that make the difference? And I always think that maybe that's the missing link for me and comic book superstardom. But then, I look at my artwork and I go, it's not Jim Lee stuff. So even those pencils are not going to help me. So, so I was just going through some pictures of soldiers breaking down doors and stuff. That's what I'm thinking. They had, I don't know, in the picture, he was holding a larger firearm. It was like it was a AR or something or other, and he was holding it, and it looked really cool. So that's the energy I'm trying to capture with this image. So I'm just gonna play around a little bit with the position of the other arm. Like, is this where the the one bat goes. Should the bat go in this hand, or should the bat go in the other hand? Let me see. So that's where I got the inspiration for this picture. Is I was looking up just pictures of soldiers, and then I kind of superhero-ized them. And that is a lot of what I do. There's multiple ways that I come up with my poses and stuff. And but that's one of them, because you want to connect the viewer to something that is familiar to them, and kind of get those the feelings, like the emotions. They have to be kind of emotionally connected to the image, and it has to remind them of something they've seen before, but drawn in a dramatic way. And you can use different little tricks to create that drama, like shadows, extreme shadows, or dynamic poses. Man, I'm looking at some of this reference material, and it's very violent. That's what I'm looking at when I'm looking off to the side here. I didn't know if he had a special gun, but it looks like he just has a pretty generic. I don't know if that's a special gun that he's drawing in his hand there, but it looks kind of generic, but modified. So we're just going to treat it like it's a regular gun, like a regular gun. And then in some pictures I see like the club here has like very like little things on it, like extra, to make things extra violent, like violent bumps. Let me see if I can. Nope, it's not in that picture. It's only on the Kane White original image that was presented in the back of Alpha Core, I want to say, is when I first saw this advertised, the Horseman advertised. But yeah, so I want to get the physique right. You know, that's something that we all recognize. He's got to be fit. You want him to be fit. You know, realism is great most of the time, but when you're drawing comics, I feel like you have to make them attractive, make the men masculine, make the women feminine, and I think most people are attracted to an ideal hero. Hey Ram, how you doing? Horseman, let's go. I appreciate you being here, Ram. Yeah, so there's not a lot of references out there, so hopefully I'm getting it right. I mean, I'm starting to see more and more. I was on Joe Bennett's Instagram page, and that's where I'm getting a lot of my reference. So you just go right to the source, because sometimes other artists draw it just slightly different, especially when it's a new character and they've not been drawn in every pose, or if the original artist draws it a couple different ways in a couple different panels, which I am guilty of. My own creation, Alpha Red, has been drawn slightly different by myself, by me. I'm the guy who draws Alpha Red the most. And sometimes I look at it and I go, ooh, I forgot to add that detail. But if that's what someone is using as reference, and that's what I'm doing when I'm looking off to the side here, guys. If they're using my mistaken picture as a reference, they're going to draw it wrong. And if they put it out there, then more people are going to find the wrong version and possibly copy details of the wrong version. So I get it. How are we looking so far, guys? Does he look heroic enough, masculine enough, like he's going to put this bat thing through your head? So like I said, that's probably not going to be a recommend for my audience, my Alpha Red audience, as far as the type of comic that I would recommend. Because Alpha Red is a family-friendly superhero comic. And it's something that you can share with your kids. You know, it's not made for kids, but it's definitely something that you can share with your kids. Hey, what's going on? Churchio. I know a couple of Churchios, so I'm trying to remember. Darn it. I'll get you. Chuck. What's going on, Chuck? How you doing, man? Are you into this Rippaverse stuff? Or are you playing the middle? Are you into the indie comic stuff? I know you guys talk a lot about mainstream comics on your podcast, on your live stream. Good, man. It's good to see you here. Good to see you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming out. Let me see. So he's got guns everywhere. Let's see. Guns on both sides. All right. So he's got like these holster things. Bamski. And it looks like they kind of go up this way. Yeah, that's the problem, huh? With new comics. I have like some independent books. Okay. Are you guys talking about the Rippaverse versus the all caps stuff? I know Comicsgate is a bad word to some people, and Rippaverse is a bad word for the other side. And I'm too new to the game to have a horse in the race. So I just I take it all as inspiration. Although Rippaverse has come out with probably 5 books since I kind of jumped on the independent into the independent realm, and All Caps has not had anything new that I know of. Had FC3 this weekend and headed to Baltimore next weekend. I forgot that Baltimore is next weekend. I was considering doing Baltimore, and obviously I'm not. But man, that fell off my radar. I used to love Baltimore. I'm not familiar with FC3. I'm actually not familiar with it. Okay. Yeah, so it's the whole independent, anti-woke crowd has its own brand, and now the brand is splintering. And there, you can pick sides or you can't pick sides. I don't know. I'm not picking no sides, because I'm just doing my own thing. I'm inspired by who I'm inspired by, and the Horseman by Rippaverse inspires me right now. So here I be drawing him. FC3, I'm actually not familiar. Flower City, man, that's another one I wanted to look into. All right, next year. Maybe I'll get on the Chuck schedule. Get on the old Chuck train and go to the ones that you're at. How'd you do at Flower City? Was it worth it? I mean, I've been to a bunch this year, and I plan on going to a bunch more. And I don't want to jinx myself, or I don't want to make things happen that aren't happening. I don't want to prophesy bad things, but it's just kind of things are changing. It feels like a little bit. The people's willingness to buy, but it might be me too. You were just being a patron. Gotcha. Not selling. Baltimore, we have a table and the podcast channel. Okay. Are you guys going down together to do that, or are some of you guys going to be remote? Is it like a big deal? for you guys, or is it just like some of you are going down, and whoever's going down is are reporting on what's going on? I like that. I like that. I like his arm up here. What do you think, guys? Are we settled? Are we settled on this? This gun being up here. This being the bat head basher thing over here. In the cartoon thing, it looked like a head basher. The head basher. So I'll pop over to the site here in a second, and you can check out the campaign. The campaign's only been going on for 3 or 4 days, and it's up to $400,000 for the pre-orders. And they don't do it like Kickstarter. Like, I'm gonna have Kickstarter here in September, the end of the month. I'm gonna have a Kickstarter, and that will be like a campaign that lasts a month, and then once I collect the money, I can finish up the artwork as far as the coloring goes. That pays for the colorist, and it pays for the printing of stuff, and that comes out. But with the Rippaverse, it seems like they create the whole comic, and then they put it out for pre-order, and then they collect the orders, and then they fulfill them, and that's just a different business model as far as independent comics have gone for the past couple of years. Let me see the inside. No, there's nothing that holds that on. It's just part of the costume. Kind of strange. We are all there except a few reporting. Taking interviews if we can. No plans for live as we are not having a panel for it. I gotcha. Yeah. So maybe we can schedule, Chuck, towards either the end of the month or the beginning of October. If you would be willing to have me, I would love to come on the show and kind of talk about the new campaign for Alpha Red number 6. Alpha Red number 6. I'm so excited to show you guys Alpha Red number 6. I'm super proud of the story. I worked with a writer for the first time on Alpha Red. I mean, originally I worked on, I had a writer, and we developed Alpha Red together, but we had a difference of opinion on direction, and then he just backed out and gave me Alpha Red, and that was on issue number 1. So here I am on issue number 6, and I have not had anybody helping out with Alpha Red until issue number 6. So it's a learning curve for me, for sure, to have to let go of the reins a little bit and let young Ray McKay, upcoming independent, maybe not independent, comic writer. So he had a great idea, pitched it to me, and that's what we're going with. Yeah, let's do it. So you guys still do Friday and Saturday, or do you guys just do Friday? I think it was Friday, because I remember I have a date with my wife every Friday, and I think I had to take a pause on the date night, but that might have been a Saturday too, because we're not. If we miss a Friday for whatever reason for date night, we reconvene for Saturday. We call it the audible. Let me see. Wow, writing on your own for so long. Maybe it's a good new outlook for you. Yeah. Okay. Friday and Saturday. Very cool. But yeah, so I did have writer's block. I mean, for the first 5 issues there, I had a story in mind. So it wasn't too hard to just kind of keep refining my story with each issue. And then, of course, you end up having to settle on an ending. I was going back and forth on a couple of different endings, and then I had to settle on which storyline it was going to be. And so once I figured that out after issue 3. It was smooth sailing. And then after issue 5, I was like, okay, I want to do issue number 6. Here's the next story in the progression. And it just would not work out in a simple way. It was just so complicated. I had to jump back and forth, kept telling a different story, and I couldn't figure out some of the details. And this writer came along, and he asked if he could help, and I gave him my story, and he didn't sound excited about helping with that. And I said, you know what? If you got a story for Alpha Red, let's hear it. And he came at me with what we're doing now. He actually came at me with like 3 different stories, and like right away, like within a couple of hours, he had 3 plots that he sent me. And if you're a writer, I'm sure you have some ideas in the can. If you have an opportunity to pitch, you throw out a couple of stories that might be in the wheelhouse of the characters that you're writing for. We can also do a taped session. Okay. Yeah. I mean, whatever works. I don't know if you guys do that. You know, you tape it and then you play it back and you edit it with some video in it. I think that was a suggestion to me by somebody, or maybe it's something that I hear that guys talk about all the time, about editing videos. And it's just kind of like having a B-roll. Like while you're talking about one thing, the B-roll is kind of showing you examples of stuff. And then you cut out some of the ums and ahs, or if your train of thought goes wild, you're just able to cut some of that out. What do you think so far, guys? Coming together. We do that from time to time. Okay. Always good to have someone to bounce ideas off of, for sure. Young Ray has been, I mean, he's a younger guy, very eager, and so he's really open to some of my suggestions. So he's good about it. He wants to be a writer, and so he's out there, man. He's writing all kinds of stuff. He's been published by Big Bang Comics, and I mean that was his big break. And to be honest, that went a long way for me to agree to bring him on, was that he was being published already by Big Bang. And so good on him. So I'm excited to give him an opportunity. And he's been super fun to share stuff with, because it's kind of lonely, you know, when you're creating your own stuff. You get excited about it, and members of your family get excited about it a little bit, but like you want to share it with people who don't depend on you to feed them. That being my son, you know. My wife she's not into this stuff, so she doesn't care. Not that much. I mean, she doesn't disrespect it or anything like that, but it's definitely not something she's interested in. I mean, she'll ask me questions about it when she can't sleep, and then I start talking, and then she dozes right off. Tell me a little bit more about Alpha Red. All right. So we got his arm coming down here. We got the gun up here. We're looking good. Feeling good about this one. Where are we on time? 8:34. Very good. We're good on time too. Let's flip to another reference so I can see his lower. Okay. Oh, he's got a boot thing. I mean, a knee thing. Gotcha. Man, even his knee things look mean. Don't mess with the knee pads. So I am looking forward to this book because of Chuck Dixon. He's I mean, I didn't know that I liked him as a writer, just because I'm more into artists. But I really liked Punisher War Journal back in the day, and it's because I liked John Romita Jr.'s artwork. Not all people like his artwork, but I appreciated it. He had a lot of skill. You soothe her, honestly. For sure. When we were dating, we dated long distance. I was in Pennsylvania. She was in New Jersey. And she would call me, and we would talk. And really, it was just her talking. She would talk. I would listen. And then when she was ready to go to bed, she would start asking me questions, and then I would get no answer. She would just be out like a light. But some things don't change, you know? Some things just don't change. So, you know, sometimes I do like this will be like a silhouette. I think the whole leg back here would just be black. What do you think? Just kind of pushes it backward. So, and if we want to, we can give it some detail, but right now I think I'm just gonna make it black, like that. Bam, bam, bam. Got some nubbies. But yeah, all my in-laws, they have this superpower to go to sleep, like on a dime. When they're done talking, that means their brain just shuts off. And so sometimes she can't sleep because she has to get the words out. And then when she's done getting the words out, she's out. And on the occasions where she doesn't lights out right away, she asks me about Alpha Red. And that usually does the trick. Right out. War Journal was great back in the day. Absolutely. You know what I remembered was the die cut cover. I don't know if you remember that, but they had this die cut cover where like something about the bullets, and man, it was just like, it was the heyday of all the fancy covers, all the gimmick covers and stuff. But the die cut, I mean, some of the gimmicks work, man. Those were killer. Like the die cut thing with the bullets, and you know, you open it up, and I don't know, you can kind of see him through it. There was something about it. I should look it up to see what the gimmick cover was, but let me see. Hey, what's going on, Jimmy? Good to see you, man. I appreciate you popping over here. How is your book going? Is that fully funded? I don't follow you. I don't see you pop up in my feed as much as I did initially in the spring. I don't know if the algorithms. You notice how the algorithms, they show you somebody for a while, and then you finally subscribe to them, and then they don't show you their videos anymore. They show you new people that you're not subscribed to. Like, how about just the people I subscribe to? Because I only have so much time in the day. No, but I was watching, Jimmy, some of your inking of Dave Finch's stuff. Amazing stuff, man. Super awesome. I don't know if I commented on I don't know if you do them live, or I want to say you do them live, but I was watching you do the one thing. The one David Finch. I think it was an image of your character drawn by Finch, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Do I keep it the big stick? I appreciate that, Jimmy. Appreciate that. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't look like the stick has any nubbies on it. We'll go with the Joe Bennett version, since he created it. So we'll make it just this weird, like, what do they call them? the stick. I should know this because my father-in-law was in law enforcement. One of those batons, that's it. Where it's just, it's pretty straight. I think we might have time to ink this, guys. What do you think? And if you guys are interested in purchasing this sketch cover, there's a link to my Etsy store. I'm only selling it for 20 bucks. And right now, the offering just looks like it's a blank cover. But as far as we get on here is what you would get for 20 bucks. That includes shipping, because it's not about the artwork on here. It's about you picking up Alpha Red #1. So if you're finding this late, and the link still takes you to my Etsy and it's still available, and you live in the United States, 20 bucks gets you this sketch of the Horseman. So I'm excited about it. So do you have an opinion, Jimmy, on Rippaverse stuff? Are you in the fray? I don't know if you're Comicsgate friendly, anti-Comicsgate, Rippaverse friendly. I just don't see the benefit of picking a side. But I guess it's a thing people are doing. I'm just trying to make good comics and get the word out there, like you, positive attitude, you know. But some people like to farm the drama, and it seems like it pays well for some people for a time, and then it doesn't. So no thank you. I'll just be inspired by other independent creators, and stick with positive people. Stick with the positive. So do you have a campaign going on right now, Jimmy? You had some kind of a dragon thing, right? Dragon fantasy thing, if I'm remembering right. I'll have to check that out. I just did an art auction last week, and I have some money, and I can support other creators for right now. So I might as well support folks like you. Honestly, I support all indie creators. I want comics to survive. Amen, man. Amen. Just put your head down and make awesome comics. Make awesome comics. You know? All right. I think I'm ready for inks. Now, it's not going to be some Jimmy Ray's inks. That would be amazing. This would just be James Nguyen inks. Let me snap a pencil version of this guy here. Bamski. Thank you for hanging with me. Let me see. All right, guys. Let's go into the toolbox here and grab some inks, the ink and pen. That is like a last resort here. I love this brush pen, just because the inks flow, but the tip is so soft that it puts out. I like to be quick with the inks, and that makes for some heavy-handed brush strokes. Let me see. Can we see some interiors of yours? Sure. Yeah. This here is page 1. This is Satan being duped by his right-hand demon, and gets cast into the body of a mortal and then made immortal, and that's kind of the crux of the story. And then our hero Alpha Red has to figure out how to be a hero, because this is kind of his origin story. He's only been a hero for he's only had superpowers for a month, at the time of the events of this comic. So he saves the girl, finds out, why someone wanted to kill her, and then has to figure out who the devil is, because the devil's been walking around for 40 years as a human with no supernatural powers, and he can't die. So it's supposed to be, I describe it as Peter Parker as Captain America on a James Bond adventure. So he's your friendly neighborhood handyman, and hang on a second. Let me pick. I want a number 3. So he gets chosen for an experiment and gets a chip implanted in his brain, and that gives him super strength, super speed, and makes him super smart. And so he has to, and he's given gadgets like James Bond gadgets, like super suit, a super fast car, of course, because James Bond always has the nice super fast cars. And then it transforms into a robot. His car does. And then he has to fight and stop Omega Black from taking over the world. And Omega Black turns out that he's a transforming robot tank piloted by Satan. So Satan has taken the 40 years to build a transforming robot army to take over the world, even though he has no supernatural powers. So that's the gist of it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Jimmy. What's going on, Original X? Great to see you here, man. Thanks for coming back. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. Talk about independent comics, creating independent comics. What's good? What's bad? What's so-so? Do you like the drama? Do you not like the drama? I mean, I rubberneck just like everybody else, so on some channels more than others. Some of these podcast trash casts are just so long. I don't have the time to invest in it. So make shorter videos if you want to persuade me. I'm persuadable. Just make your point. But I just want good comics. That's all we're looking for. That's all we're looking for. Origin X, do you have any opinion on the Rippaverse versus Comicsgate? Is it good for indie, or is it bad for indie? Is it indie culling the herd a little bit? Is the comic book pie finite, and everybody's fighting for a piece of the pie? Or do you think it is make your own darn pie? That's how I see Rippaverse. I see Rippaverse. Yeah, he's bringing in. He has his own audience from his channel. Like they're not stealing anybody's audience. He's created comic book fans, or at least comic book purchasers. They don't necessarily have to be fans. They're investing in something that they think might be worth something someday. And what's wrong with that? I don't know. I'm inspired by it. I'm not jealous. I just hope that Alpha Red number 6 can get a percentage of the kind of money that he's making. So if you guys have not seen, let me see if I can jump over without turning myself off here. But that is the Rippaverse right now. Let's see if anything has happened since I started. I don't know what I'm doing. So hopefully I don't shut myself off here. Boy, no, still 6,905 books sold in 4 days in 4 days. So it's definitely inspiring. And I mean, I don't know why you would hate on that. And the cope is really, I don't know, it's nonsensical. I heard everything from it's bad for the industry if it's not like super high quality, and people think that the quality of the Rippaverse as bad or whatever their opinion is harms the independent space, because the people who find comics because of the Rippaverse comics are going to get bad comics. Well, there's no way to quantify that. No way to prove that. So that kind of turns me off when they use that as a reason to hate on a successful independent comic. Let's aspire to get people to pick up comics. Let me jump over here to look at just some reference. How square is it? How square or not square? So every week I do this, guys. If you haven't subscribed or hit the like button, and if I have earned that, I would appreciate it if you would just click that like button. They tell me it does amazing things to the algorithm, and I have no choice but to believe them. So every week I do this, 8 o'clock. I just I pick whatever comic character I feel inspired to at the time, and then I draw it and talk about what's going on with Alpha Red number 6, which is going to be crowdfunding on September 30th. So I'm going to turn it on at 8 o'clock. That's a Monday. September 30th is a Monday. I'm going to do a special live stream for the launch. I'm going to start it at 7:30. I'll go through maybe showing you my side of it, just because this channel really strives to inspire independent creators to not be scared, to put yourself out there, put your comic out there, how to navigate this independent space, crowdfunding, all the goodness that brings us comic book entertainment. And so that you can see how the launches go. Jimmy, I don't know if you're still here, but I was wondering, do you know of anyone who has done all 3 platforms at the same time? Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and Fund My Comic. That is my plan, to go all 3 if I can. I don't know if they will care if I'm on all 3. Will Kickstarter care that I have the same campaign going on a different platform? I don't know. I'm hoping not. I mean, I've only ever used Kickstarter. So if I have troubles on if Indiegogo or Fund My Comic have a problem with that, I'll just back off and go back to where my audience has found me before, on Kickstarter. And I would rather not, because I'm told that people shop on different crowdfunding sites because that's where they're most comfortable. And so if you can spend all your entertainment dollars on comics that you find on Indiegogo, you would not likely leave Indiegogo to go over to Kickstarter to look for new projects. And so I want to make sure that the Indiegogo people know that Alpha Red exists. Yeah, definitely not some Jimmy Raves inks. But it's also a live stream, and I am talking. So, but no, you were doing it while you were talking too. So I got no excuse, man. I got no excuse. You're crushing it. I have this just a little sloppier style anyway. And then it just gets exacerbated while I have a camera on. So if you've not heard me talk about holding my breath, I hold my breath sometimes when I'm inking, because I am convinced that if I don't, that line will swiggle. That line will swiggle. Boomski. It's looking pretty good, guys. I like it. I like it. I like it. I think the design is cool. So as long as you kind of stick to the design, I think it'll come out pretty good. Pretty good. What do you think so far, guys? What do you think so far? So I typically go to 9 o'clock, and we are quickly approaching 9 o'clock. And because I have started inking this, I will completely ink this, and then I will post it on all the socials. And it will be available still on Etsy. I have not been notified by Etsy that it has sold. So if you're interested in picking up this picture of the Horseman, you can go to the link that is in the description. And for $20, that includes shipping. That includes shipping, guys. Let me see if I have the comics close to me. The covers. Do I have it? I have the pages real quick. If you missed seeing the pages, because I haven't worked on the pages while I've been working on the Kickstarter stuff and the crowdfunding, preparing for that and all the different variant covers. I'll spend the last minute here showing you. This is page 1, and I am using a smaller format, and that has made a world of difference as far as faster output of Alpha Red pages. So this page 1, I'm not going to talk about what's going on in each of these pages. You guys can try to figure out what's going on. I did get colors back on page 5 already. So it's colored up through page 5 already. Looking fantastic, by the way. And then you got your talking head thing that moves the story forward a little bit. And Boomski. What's going on? What is going on? I'm not going to talk about it. You can slow it down. You can pause it if you're curious. What in the world? What's going on? Who is that? Who is that guy? He's the new bad guy. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this hour. It has been a blast. Thank you for chatting with me. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Origin X, for popping in. And Ram popped in. And, of course, J. Scott popped in first comment. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. And I'm going to hit the outro. And I do this every week, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it out, put a comment. I think the comment supposedly does even more magic to the algorithms. So I appreciate you guys being here. Until next week, grace, peace.
From the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.